The valley of Elah stretched between two armies, and for 40 days it had become a stage for fear. On one ridge stood Israel, restless, watching. On the other, the Philistines, confident in the shadow of their champion. Twice a day, morning and evening, he came out. A man over 9 feet tall, armored head to foot in bronze, his spear's iron point alone weighing 600 shekels. His voice rolled across the valley like thunder. "Choose a man and let him come down to me." Silence answered him. Every time, Saul and all Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were dreadfully afraid. 40 days of this, 40 mornings of paralysis. What does fear do to an army when it has nowhere to run and no one willing to stand?
Into this valley walked a boy who wasn't supposed to be there. David, the youngest son, a shepherd, sent by his father Jesse to carry bread and cheese to his brothers on the front line, arrived just as the armies were taking their positions for battle. He heard the shout. He watched grown soldiers, men trained for war, turn and run at the mere sound of Goliath's voice, and something in him refused to accept it. "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine?" he asked, "that he should defy the armies of the living God?" His brothers mocked him for it. Eliab accused him of pride, of sneaking away from the sheep just to watch a battle. But David wasn't asking to watch. He was asking why no one else was doing anything. Word of his questions reached Saul. And when David stood before the king, he didn't posture. He didn't boast. He simply said, "Let no man's heart fail because of him. Your servant will go and fight with this Philistine." Saul looked at him, a boy unarmored, untrained for war, and doubted. "You are not able to go against this Philistine, to fight with him, for you are but a youth." But David had an answer, rooted not in confidence in himself, but in memory. He told Saul of the lion and the bear he had killed with his bare hands while guarding his father's flock, and then said the words that would define him. "The Lord, who delivered me out of the paw of the lion, and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine." Saul relented. He dressed David in his own armor, bronze helmet, coat of mail, sword strapped to his side. But David had never tested any of it. He took it off. Instead, he picked up his staff, chose 5 smooth stones from the brook, placed them in his shepherd's bag, and walked toward the giant with nothing but a sling in his hand. Would a shepherd's stone be enough against 600 shekels of iron? Goliath saw him coming and was insulted. "Am I a dog, that you come to me with sticks?" He cursed David by his gods, promising to give his flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field. It was the threat of a man who had never once been challenged. David's answer was not fear. It was faith stated plainly, without a trace of doubt. "You come to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield. But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel." Then it happened fast. As the Philistine moved toward him, David ran, not away but straight into the fight. He reached into his bag, slung a single stone, and struck Goliath in the forehead. The giant fell, face down on the ground. No sword was needed to win the battle. Only to finish it, David used Goliath's own blade to cut off his head. The moment the champion fell, the Philistines who had stood so boldly turned and ran, and the men of Israel and Judah, the ones who had trembled for 40 days, rose up with a shout and pursued them the length of the valley. One act of faith had turned an army of frightened men into an army that ran forward instead of back. The moral of the story: the size of the obstacle was never the real issue. The size of Israel's faith was. David didn't win because he was stronger than Goliath. He won because he trusted a stronger God. Whatever giant stands in your valley today, fear, failure, an impossible circumstance, the battle belongs to the Lord, not to your own strength. Lord, when the giants in my life feel too big and too loud, remind me that you are bigger still. Give me the courage David had, not courage in myself, but courage in you. Let me run toward my fears in faith, not away from them. Amen. If you'd like to see another story brought to life, drop a comment below and let me know which one. And subscribe so you don't miss it.